everybody. So yeah, I'm doing something a little bit different. Last night I was tagged in a kind of a chain thing that's going on YouTube at the moment by a YouTuber named Sarah Starkiller. Thank you very much. And in this thing, it was basically a bunch of Q&A questions, sort of getting to know you kind of questions for YouTube movie reviewers, I'm guessing, which at the end you're supposed to tag a whole bunch of people, and it seemed like a bit of fun. And yeah, I just really appreciated the tag, so I thought, you know what? I'm going to give this a go. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump straight in. I have all my questions here, and I actually haven't prepared any answers. I did read over the questions and I watched Sarah's video, but yeah, I haven't really given these a lot of thought. So this is going to be very spur of the moment, which I kind of like doing. I like having spontaneity in these videos. But yeah, going to give it a go. So starting with question 1, favorite movie of all time. Well, for those of you who have been following my channel, I did publish a video a while back now where I gave a top 10 list of my most favorite movies of all time. And coming in at number 1 on that list was Star Wars: A New Hope from 1977. Now, don't get me wrong, I do recognize that Empire Strikes Back was a better film, but without the first Star Wars, there would be no Empire Strikes Back. And the reason why I picked that as my number 1 favorite film is because of the way that it changed my life. It shaped it. I mean, seeing that movie as a kid, it just, oh man, it really did something to me. You know, I mean, for 4-year-old me, that kind of movie just sparked my imagination. It made me such a creative person. You know, I drew pictures. I did all sorts of things to do with Star Wars. And then collecting all the toys and stuff, I guess that inspired a healthy love of collecting stuff in me. And so, yeah, Star Wars I've always credited as my number 1 most favorite film of all time. Moving on to number 2, favorite scene from that movie. Whew. Oh man, how do you choose one? I do love all the stuff on the Death Star. I love when, you know, Han, Chewie, Luke, everyone get onto the Death Star and they've got to sort of sneak their way around and rescue the princess and all that sort of stuff. I really liked that whole thing of trying to stay hidden and sneaking around and everything. And then, you know, the climactic fight between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader was awesome. And yeah, I mean, the end battle sequence, of course, was amazing. And there's so many amazing things. But yeah, I think I tend to favor anything set on board the Death Star. All right, next question. Favorite actors and actresses? Oh, wow, there's a lot to choose from. Straight off the top of my head, I'm a big fan of Nathan Fillion. He's just such a likable guy. I love everything, even though, like, he kind of tends to play the same character. Like, he injects himself into every character he plays in a way. But I'm a big fan of him. In terms of old school stuff, I love Vincent Price. There is just something about that guy who, you know, I mean, for someone who's kind of stereotyped in the horror genre, you know, he just seems like such a nice and gentle person. And yeah, something about his voice and everything. I really like Vincent Price. In terms of actresses that I like, I'm a big fan of Angelina Jolie. I know that's kind of like a go-to answer for a lot of people, but I think she's quite a versatile actress. I think that she plays drama and does action really well, and I always believe her performances. Another one that I'm fond of is Tilda Swinton, mainly because she's just kind of an oddball. I mean, she's a brilliant actress, but yeah, she just tends to play kind of quirky, weird roles, and yeah, I really dig her. But probably my number 1 most favorite actor of all time, and it'll come as no surprise to anyone who follows my channel, I would have to say is Arnold Schwarzenegger, particularly back in his day, you know, in the sort of 80s and 90s. I mean, my God, that guy, you know, just his name on a movie was enough to absolutely kill at the box office. And he was this larger than life presence on screen. You know, his movies were so incredibly good. And you know, I also like to do an impersonation of Arnold as well. So yeah, he's got kind of a place in my heart, if you know what I mean. But yeah, the thing is with me, I'm more of a fan of filmmakers rather than actors and actresses. And I'm not going to lie, I even had to like do some looking up because there wasn't really anyone who was really coming to mind. And I'm sure there are a whole bunch of other actors who I like. And there's one in particular who I really love, and I can't remember who it is. Yeah, which is pretty bad. But yeah, films themselves and directors and stuff, I'm a much bigger fan of than I am of actual actors and stuff. So that's a little bit about me. Next question, most annoying actor or actress. Who annoys me? Well, not so much anymore because he hasn't really done a lot, but back in the 90s, Hugh Grant was, oh man, I just could not stand that guy. I don't know, he just seemed so soft, and his whole, stuttering and stuff that kind of bugged me. I don't really think there's anyone anymore who's particularly annoying. As far as actresses go, I would probably say Melissa McCarthy. I'm just not a fan. I know there's a lot of people who are fans, and if you're a fan of hers, that is totally cool. I'm not going to think any less of anyone who's a fan of hers, but yeah, I don't know, just her performances and everything just tend to sort of rub me the wrong way, so I'm not a fan of hers. What do we got? See, now here we go, now you're talking. Best Director. I also did another video, actually, of my favorite directors, and this tends to change every once in a while. I'm a huge fan of Robert Rodriguez, mainly because of his style of filmmaking and his one-man film crew, tendency to approach films. I love that. That's really inspirational in my own work. I'm also a really big fan of Quentin Tarantino, being that the 90s was my favorite decade of cinema. That guy just, he defined 90s cinema in a way. And yeah, just no one does dialogue the way he does. I absolutely love it. At the moment, I think my favorite filmmaker would be James Gunn, though. There is something about his stuff, like his earlier works, if you look at it, they're really, really quirky and strange and weird, and they have these themes of outcasts and misfits, and that tends to creep into his more recent work, with his whole Guardians of the Galaxy stuff. And this guy's becoming like an A-list Hollywood director now, and I still remember like chatting to him on MySpace back in the day, when he still likes to communicate with the fans, which is brilliant. Another reason why I love the guy so much. But yeah, he's probably my favorite filmmaker at this point in time. Alrighty, coming up next, we've got favorite guilty pleasure film. The first one that comes to mind, and I'm almost ashamed to admit it, but hear me out, Encino Man. I know it's a bad film. It has Pauly Shore in it. How can it possibly not be a bad film? But I don't know. It was fun. I remember prior to DVDs really coming out and everything, I had like a bootleg copy of that tape. And there was back when they had this technology that like every 20, 30 seconds or something, the picture would go distorted for a few seconds as an anti-piracy thing. And I just didn't care. Like, I still watched it so many times, even with that thing on there. And here's another funny story. I loved Brendan Fraser's hair in that movie so goddamn much. I just thought that hair was party. And so I wanted that hair really, really badly, even though my hair probably wasn't long enough at the time. But I went to a hairdresser and I showed them a picture of it. And this is before the internet, really. And so I had to get a cutout of a magazine and show it to them. And they were like, yeah, we can do that. So I sat down. That afternoon, I had to go to work. I was working at a waiter in a pancake restaurant. And so they did this thing that looked absolutely nothing like the picture. And it was more like a perm. I just sort of had this just curly hair or something. And so I had to go to work that afternoon with my hair like that. And yeah, I don't think I've ever really suffered embarrassment the way that I suffered that day. And since I've embarrassed myself enough with that story, next question is favorite tearjerker. The Crow. Easy. That movie ranks really high in my top 10 favorite movies of all time, and that is a tearjerker. I mean, like, God, by the end and everything, like, yeah, it really tugs the heartstrings, and especially the story behind the film, you know, the tragedy with Brandon Lee. Yeah, so that one I would say is my favorite tearjerker. Another one that always really gets me is Fast and the Furious 7. Yeah, that end scene where Paul Walker drives up, you know, next to Vin Diesel at the crossroads and everything, and they have that look at each other, and as they drive off, his car just sort of goes off in a different direction. The symbolism behind that. Oh man, yeah, that scene gets me every single time. And what else we got? Character from a movie that scared you the most. Well, that's pretty easy. As far as scaring me the most would have to be Sadako from Ring. Ever since I saw the first Ring back in, it was around the time that The Ring, the remake, was getting made. I just thought she was such a brilliant character. I mean, the whole look, you know, the white dress and the long black hair is just so terrifying in its simplicity. But not only that, the character, she was just this malevolent thing that was coming to kill people. You know, there was a little bit of backstory to her, but you never heard her speak or anything, that was one of the main issues I had with the remake, was that they turned her character into like a sympathetic sort of a villain. Whereas in the Japanese version, nah, she was just this beast of a thing. And my God, yeah, she scared the crap out of me. The whole Ring trilogy just... yeah, that did it for me. And now that I've got the heebie-jeebies, let's move on to the next one. A movie that I love that everyone hates. Oh man, this is why I should have prepared something for this. Look, I know it's not one that everyone hates, but I'm gonna go with The Last Jedi because I really loved that film and a lot of people dislike it. And Kerry, if you're watching, I know right now you're gonna be sitting there going, yeah, buddy. But yeah, I can't really think of a movie that I love that is sort of universally hated, because generally, if a movie is, hated by everybody, I tend to hate it as well. I mean, there's a lot of, like, really shit movies that I love. I'm a big fan of movies that are so bad they're good. But I don't think they generally count because they're kind of tended to be looked upon as, you know, kind of gems. So, yeah, I'm just going to go with The Last Jedi on that one. Moving along, a movie that I hate that everyone loves. Well, okay, I'm gonna go with a movie that I don't particularly hate, but I think is really overrated. And this is the part where I'm gonna get a lot of thumbs down on this video, but I'm gonna go with The Shawshank Redemption. I know, I'm sorry. Yeah, like I said, I like the movie. I do like it. But, I mean, it's like number one in the IMDb top 250 movies of all time. Like, a lot of people think it is just the greatest movie ever made. And I've seen it a few times. I own the movie. But, I don't know, every time I watch it, I just don't really get why it's so revered. I mean, there probably are some movies that I could think of that I actually hate that everyone loves, but being that I'm just doing this on the fly, yeah, I'm just going to stick with that answer. And once again, I apologize to all you Shawshank Redemption fans out there. Oh, actually, I should have said Blade Runner, because Blade Runner I find really boring. Can I go back and change my answer to Blade Runner? Oh, look, it's too late now, whatever. Just Blade Runner. Favorite animated movie? Yeah, okay, good question. For that one, I'm gonna go with South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut. I know a lot of people are gonna be picking Pixar movies and Disney movies, and The Lion King's gonna be up there and stuff, but look, for me, South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut, that was my kind of humor, and I adore that movie so much. It was so politically incorrect, and it was nominated for an Oscar, so there you go, critically acclaimed. Next one, we've got actor or actress crush. Yeah, well, oh god, actress crush, I don't know, that tends to change every time I see a movie with a hot girl in it. I'm gonna probably, at this point in time, go with Margot Robbie. I mean, yeah, like, she is just ridiculous ridiculously good looking and just seems like a really cool person and everything. And yeah, quite a versatile actress. Actually, I probably should have put her up in my favorite actresses, really, because yeah, I really like anything that she's in. But yeah, she is just way too good looking. Like, nobody should be that good looking. So yeah, I'll go with her. Not to mention the fact that she comes from my hometown right here where I live. So, you know, she's a local girl. Do I have to answer actor crush? Because, well, I don't know. Let's throw Nathan Fillion back in the mix. Anyway, moving along. Favorite movie villain? That would have to be Darth Vader. And again, going back to the whole thing of how Star Wars just shaped my life, Darth Vader was one of my first memories in life, like seeing him coming through that corridor in the beginning of A New Hope. And yeah, what a brilliant villain. The fact that, you know, we didn't see his face till the end of the trilogy. He was just this incredible looking, you know, black mask and armor and the cape and everything. Like, the design was amazing. And there was just something about his presence, you know, especially in Empire Strikes Back, where if you mess up, you're going to get choked, even if it's through a view screen. You're just not safe from him. And so, yeah, he posed a really decent threat and everything. I kind of liked what they did with his backstory in the prequels, even though the prequels were crap. I did like the fight between him and Obi-Wan, except for whenever they had to speak, because the performances were so bad. Yeah, so look, I'm definitely going with Darth Vader on that one, because, yeah, he's just the best. What movie surprised you the most? Okay. Good question. The one that comes to mind straight away, and it's probably an odd choice, was Van Wilder, Party Liaison with Ryan Reynolds. And the reason I'm picking that one is because I remember at the time, I'd finished working in a movie theater, and for years afterwards, I was still getting free movies because I still knew everybody, and whoever was at the door would just let me and my friends in. I don't know if I should really be revealing that now, but oh well, what the hell, there you go. And a friend of mine and I, one day we were looking for a movie to see, and like, the trailers for Van Wilder just didn't look that appealing, but there was nothing else on. We thought, look, let's go see it. And oh my freaking god, it's one of the funniest movies ever made. I love that movie so much, and yeah, that really surprised the heck out of us because we were expecting something kind of crap, but yeah, we dug it. Alrighty, next one. Where am I up to? Movie surprising most. If you could go back in time and marry an actor or actress from back when who is now old, who would it be? Do I have to marry them? Like, I don't really want to marry anybody. I mean, that's just like, you know, deep commitment and stuff, and then I probably like would have to have kids and stuff, and I couldn't be doing my YouTube channel and everything, so I don't really want to marry anyone. But look, if I had to, like, if the fate of humanity or something rested on it, someone who's now dead, I'm probably gonna go with Grace Kelly. In terms of ye olde actresses of the past, she was just stunning. She was absolutely amazing, and yeah, I could probably wake up to that every morning, I suppose. Not so much how she would look now. That would just be really weird and creepy, but yeah, you know where I'm going with this. What do we got here? One more question. What's the first movie you remember watching in theaters? Well, yeah, I've said it before, I'll say it again. That was Star Wars: A New Hope. I was a 4-year-old kid. I think, if memory serves me correctly, I think that movie didn't come out in Australia till about October of 77. And yeah, my parents took me to see it at the drive-in. I remember being in the back seat, and yeah, it just absolutely blew my mind. The only thing that I really remember about it was, like I said, that bit where Vader comes in through the doorway. He just had such an impression on little 4-year-old me. Alrighty, so that answers all those questions, probably really badly, but that's what I get for not preparing. And on to the part now where I've got to nominate a whole bunch of people. So I think I'm only supposed to nominate 5, but I'm nominating 10 because it's my channel and I'll do whatever the heck I want. So on my list of people that I have to nominate, number 1, I am nominating Justin, aka Jay the Bald Guy, because this is going to give him an excuse to do a damn video. Second cab off the rank, we've got the guys from Rewind Replay. I'm nominating you guys, and yeah, obviously, you know, the two of you can answer the questions each and yeah, have some fun. Next one I've got is Jared Buckendall, because I reckon, yeah, I just love that guy's videos. And yeah, they're so entertaining, and yeah, I'm just really keen to see what he does with this one. Next up, I'm nominating the guys from Screencrawler because they're also highly entertaining, and yeah, I just like the idea of like two people answering the questions. So I'm nominating you guys. I've also got my friend Tony, aka Captain Cinema, because yeah, I'd just like to see him doing more videos on YouTube, and yeah, this would be a good one for him, I think. Next on my list, I've got my friend Jacob Blunden, who used to be part of a group on YouTube, but he's going solo soon, and I just think this could be a really cool video for like a first video for your new channel. So I'm nominating you, Jacob. The next one, I don't know why I threw this name in the list because he's probably never going to see this, but I'm nominating John Flickinger from the Flick Pick. So I'm going to use the power of social media to try and get this out to him, and yeah, hopefully he'll see it and yeah, do a video. That would be cool. I've also got my buddy Tyler Calvert, who I would very much like to see answer these questions because I don't really know you that well, and yeah, this would be a cool way to get to know you a bit better. And also my friend Scott from the channel Darrow Films, mainly because I just love our chats that we have about movies and stuff, and yeah, I'd really like to see you do something like this. I know you guys don't really do this sort of stuff, but yeah, why not start now? And last but definitely not least is my friend Chandler Langley. Yeah, again, I just think, yeah, this is the sort of thing that like he would really like to do, and I would very much like to see him do it. When I say I want to see him do it, I don't mean in a weird sex tape kind of way. I meant do this Q&A thing. So there we go. That comes to the end of this little Q&A thingy. I hope it was fun. I hope it was informative. I have no idea. I just felt like doing it. And what the heck, I'm going to nominate everybody who watches this video. So if you want to answer these questions, they're going to be in the description box below. By all means, jump into the comments section and yeah, answer away. Like, yeah, let me know what your favorite actresses and most annoying villains and hottest movies are. So go ahead, drop me some comments either here or on Facebook. All the social media links are in the description below because I like to talk about movies and I would love to talk about movies with you. Catch you next time.
Click subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest movie reviews. Skynet will be taking over any day now, so what have you got to lose? Nyah.